What is going on, all-terrain nation? Whether it be two-wheel drive, four-wheel drive, or these badass cars and trucks that we all love to drive, this is your all-terrain nation, presented by nobody yet. Something, there's deals in the works, and I promise you. But what is going on, everybody? I hope you're having a fantastic Monday. Kelly will be here. This is Kelly Jr. Kelly will be here here in a little bit. She's running late from a meeting, so I had to bring in my C team, we'll say. But I hope everybody's having a fantastic team. And speaking of teams, I got to bring them in. I got to bring in Mark and Jess, who are the B team. B squad is here.
Hey guys.
And, we're going to talk about some adventures we had in Las Vegas. But first off, guys, how are you doing? Everything going well?
I think so. Well, I woke up on this side of the dirt today, so.
Right.
Legs and feet recovered from the miles and miles of walking.
Yeah. I love that was one of the things already. Recovered yet? No.
Yeah, we definitely when we got back. Well, we flew back Thursday night, and Friday we were like, all right, we got all the stuff to do. We're gonna make stuff happen. And by like 10:30 in the morning, I think we're like, we need a nap.
100%, man, on that. Yeah, like the trip out was longer for me though than the trip coming back. We did hit the jet stream coming back, so that made it a little faster. But my flight out there, guys, was miserable. I was tired. We took kind of a red eye out there. It was awful.
Crazy.
Kelly does all of our booking, and I approved it, I guess. But she was, I've got so we can work all day. I've got us on one of the later flights going to Vegas, and I was like, okay, not thinking it was 1 o'clock our time. I think by the time we got there.
Yeah.
And of course it's 10 o'clock or something Vegas time. It screwed me up. I think we said hi to you guys for about 10 minutes and I was like, see ya. I'm going to bed, man.
Yeah, and we had to stay up because we had all the room keys. So we were sitting there like, don't go to sleep. Dave and Kelly will be here any hour now.
Yes, no, yeah, no. I felt bad for y'all on that too. I was like, well, they've been traveling all day too. They don't want to have to stay up. But amazing accommodations. We'll get into all that in a little bit, hopefully when Kelly gets here. Back to work. Yes, everybody. Today was awful. I did go back to work Friday for 4 hours, and between that and then rushing home, trying to get some videos edited for you guys to see SEMA. It's been a whirlwind weekend. And then Monkey over here, she's on a new high-end travel softball team that they don't just do a couple hours, like it's minimum 3 hour practices. And then we learn, we get to go to Kentucky once a month for training. I'm like,
oh,
great.
Traveling to country. Live in Kentucky. Where are you going in Kentucky?
I don't know, Frankfurt or something like that. I don't know, some big softball complex or big soccer complex. So I guess we can train in softball. But
Kentucky.
But it is a happy Monday, Aaron. It is a happy Monday. We're definitely going to get into some SEMA talk because, well, it's over. It's done. And I felt bad. I said it in a video. I did a Kumo Tires video today. And I dropped it. And I was like, well, the only time to see it's on Friday. Not even thinking like, shit, this isn't going to launch till at least Monday. So, next Friday, you guys can come here and see the show. But we'll kind of start with that. So you guys, B team, I've been trying to get Jess and Mark more involved with the channel. You guys seen them at the Stampede. They did some stuff for us. I was able to go over quickly, but they kind of kept an eye on all the fun that was going over in Stampede. And then we had been talking. I was like, hey, you guys got to come see SEMA. For one, everybody that's a car nut knows what SEMA is, but they don't get to go because generally it's either you're an exhibitor, which means some aftermarket companies wanted to dump a ton of money into your vehicle to put all their parts on it so they can showcase it for the 3 days, or your press like I do, or I know there's some influencers out there that get to go as well. And that's about it. And then every family member out there, it seems like somehow is associated with something is invited or gets a pass somehow. And it's a whirlwind, but I'm curious what you two thought of it. Because Mark, this was your first time in Vegas, correct?
Yeah, first time out in Vegas, first time seeing the conference center. And it was just, honestly, it was overwhelming when we got there. The throngs of people trying to find badges. You and Kelly had mentioned that the last time you went, it was kind of show, so to speak, just to find where we were supposed to get the badging. So it took us a little while.
And it changes every year where it seems like they want you to go, what build, like you guys got to see it. It was like, oh, you go in here. Nobody at the SEMA seems to know any of the like helpers that you see walking around. They don't know shit, man. They really
said,
don't.
Go in this building, and then we went to that building. The guy's like, "Well, half this building's blocked off. You have to go to the other side of this building and then go upstairs." And but it was nice being there with both you and Kelly and Jess, who's been to the convention center before in Vegas. So you guys had a general understanding of kind of the layout and the flow of the buildings. Because I'd have been lost. Like I'd have been like, "Nope, yeah, that's good." Like,
without the ladies, I think we're both lost. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
Hey.
But it was a lot. Just getting around, seeing the all the vehicles outside, not even in the booths, just outside for all the show stuff. I mean, there a week's not enough to see everything there.
Yeah, no, not at all. And we went into the dungeons this year, which I've never been downstairs where they have all the tire companies and stuff. And
yeah.
This year was the year of Chinese brands. I know SEMA's had some hard times with some of the major manufacturers pulling out. They like anything, it's a business. They need money coming in to help fund next year. And so they've finally started allowing some of the Chinese brands to come in. And the tire companies, I was amazed, Mark. Me and you were talking when we were walking through that hall. I seen 20, maybe 30 different brands of tires that I couldn't have ever told you existed.
No idea. Like
and you're worldly traveled.
And there's so many that you're like, who is this guy? And we were remarking like how different are each one of these manufacturers. You know, there's only so many ways to make a tire. There's only so many ways to cut a tread. Like no one's revolutionizing the tire industry right now. But yeah, it was all I'll say Asian market because there was a lot of Thai. There was some Korean. Obviously a lot of China.
I think there was a Vietnamese brand too.
Yeah, Vietnamese and India. You know, and I work in international logistics. Like, you know, none of those countries are foreign to me, pun intended. But I was surprised at how many were on the floor there at SEMA. It was interesting. And from, you know, it being an aftermarket show, I wasn't expecting it to be top to bottom, everything you could think of, aftermarket accessories, all that stuff, you know, everything from, you know, tires to lights to bumpers, all that regular stuff you think about, to you know, wraps and window cleaner and, you know, all sorts of tooling and stuff to build your garage. You know, if you're doing a commercial garage or if you're super bougie and have one at your house. But it was pretty amazing, the span of different products that were on display there at SEMA.
Yeah, no, it was funny when we were downstairs because Kelly and I had a friend that had a booth that we were trying to find her booth, and they do drill bits and kind of interesting stuff. But it was funny, we were all talking about like, oh, this is the real mechanic area there. This is the real people area. If you're really into, you know, like you were saying, I was amazed there was a semi sitting on a lift, which is on like another floor. It was amazing if you think about it. They have these lifts on a second or third floor of this convention center, but then they have a semi truck sitting on top of this lift, and you're like, how do you get approval for that one? How do you go, hey SEMA, here's my plan? I don't know. I'm not just going to showcase my lift. No, I have a semi truck that I'd like to put up on.
Yeah.
Well.
Yeah. And when we were up in that area, there was, you know, I come in as trying to think, you know, channel forward, right? We're thinking ATN, what we're going to cover, but also we're car guys. So there was a couple booths when we were in that area where your drill bit friend was, that was like storage and organization for your garage. And I was like, I need this. I was so excited. Like there's cubby holes and closets and these things slide. I was so excited.
Yeah, no, I was trying to keep Kelly away from that area because I would I've almost got a garage again. Between Sydney's workout, she has a cage for, well, it was mine, but she has my cage for working out and elliptical. Now it's turned into her workout center, but I have almost all of Kelly's stuff. Hi Kelly, if you're watching, by the way. Almost all of the just stuff that we do not need to carry with us anymore is almost gone. So I'm happy, and I seen the organization. I was like, yeah, Kelly sees that, I'm in trouble.
Hypermotive Chinese real truck. Big real truck had a huge display.
Yeah, they did.
Of course, all their stuff is farmed out from overseas, and a lot of that stuff, a lot of those booths are. I mean, the back end of that stuff, the manufacturing, it's getting harder and harder to find companies that are U.S. made, U.S. produced, in house. Even some that tout themselves as that are now making their own version of a knockoff part overseas and bringing that in. And it is what it is, but we'll see how that market changes.
I was amazed. I was talking to, who was I talking to? The Excalibur, somebody in a chat, and I was amazed that we were discussing the Chinese brands that were there, and I was amazed that the curry up logos or the just goofy phrases that you're like, you can tell nobody put any thought to this. They were like, oh crap, yeah, let's screw the middle guy. Let's just go here ourselves and showcase our product. And it was like, maybe put just a little more thought into this, because booths are expensive at SEMA. They're 20,000 plus on some of these. And I was amazed too with a lot of the Asian brands. And I feel like I could tell the Chinese brands definitely, like, there was one that I saw that you could tell hired a couple American guys to be at their booth. And they were like management. They were walking around their booth the whole time, just like making sure these guys were like shaking hands. But then there were some of them that I was amazed that just nobody went to. I was sitting here thinking, and not just because of where they're from, but I was like, what a bummer that you're here to showcase your product. And I think some of them just might be culture shock, but just knew how to be friendly. The American, I guess, style of being open, and just it just felt very tense. And I think the culture,
I think it was culture shock. A lot of those companies aren't used to, or they're used to middlemaning production, and then someone middles, and then Americans present that stuff over here, and to have to be forward facing. In the Chinese way of life and their business practice, it's very, very formal. Like, it's not free flowing like ours is. It's conversations, how you introduce, present yourself. That is all very, very formalized. And they're not used to that. And then of course, the language barrier. Like, they did have some American, like you said, some guys that were hired to kind of front the company and talk to the press and talk to people that were walking up. But a lot of them, it was just them, and they were doing their best, but not knowing how to present, how to entice people into the booth. A lot of those tire companies were just standing there waiting and hoping someone would walk up.
Yeah.
Well,
And of course, like any company, you just need that first door to open, and then maybe you make your way in there, which is what a lot of these, I think, we're looking for. Emily Alley is still playing catch up from traveling over the past month or so. So she's definitely, she'll be back. Trust me. But I talked to her earlier, and she was like, I know this is a SEMA recap. She's like, I'm trying to catch up still with some stuff. So you'll see her definitely next week. No, you're right, Mark. I noticed there was some overlanding equipment companies that were definitely Asian companies, that there was definitely some. I was talking to some of them, and I enjoy talking to different cultures. I like I like that. And I was talking to the people at IceCo, which is definitely they're a Chinese Taiwan based company. And and the girl that I was talking to there, she was sharp, man. Like, she was just very sharp. And I don't think it was a culture shock to her. I'm assuming she had been in America many times, but there was still a little bit. You can, I'm dumb redneck guy, so I'm sure they're like, what the F is this dude talking about? Like, I don't understand this slang. So there's culture shocks on both sides. I can assure you that.
I saw there was a handful of, like the Asian-based manufacturers that seem to be sort of, and this is layman, I have no idea, like smaller innards of things, like gears and workings and stuff that wasn't like, I'm going to go buy this off the shelf. And it's everybody has, I felt like everybody has a different audience depending on what you're selling because there are so many groups of people there.
Mhm.
So those smaller booths that, you know, didn't have something that's ready to go on the retail shelves, they were definitely kind of quiet and sitting. And I feel like they were waiting for who their customer was to show up. Like,
Yeah.
you know, the guy, the buyer that's coming to SEMA to go, you know, find those parts for whatever they're making. You know, they're just waiting for him. And on the flip side of that, and I might be skipping ahead, there was a handful of US based companies that didn't talk to anybody either. I was at a couple different booths
100%.
a handful of times. I mean, we did a whole video in a big old booth that I was like, so
Somebody,
nobody's
Jess
gonna
was very
say,
excited to be in their booth.
hey, I really wanted to like talk to them. I'm kind of mad about it, but anyway, you know, there's
They were
a
not
couple of them,
approachable.
and
They were not
I
approachable.
actually no, there was, you know, another booth in that same area that, you know, I was looking at products a couple times because I was interested personally in what they were offering. And the third time I walked over there and I filmed a little bit and was kind of fiddling around with, you know, the product, a guy walked over and finally was like, hey, can I show you how that works? And me being who I am, I was like, that would be great because this is the third time I've walked over here and you're the first person to talk to me.
I did hear you say that.
But he was super apologetic, went through the whole thing. They were very nice. You know, but it was definitely, you know, there were other booths we walked into and everybody was like, hey, how's it going? What's up? And, you know, we're going to talk to you immediately. So just that conference vibe, depending on how you run it.
Well, you can tell the companies that are hungry and some that are just satisfied.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Which that video will be coming out in a couple days. So Jess and Kelly.
So much editing. I'm sorry, Dave.
Yeah, I think there was 10 or 12 videos that I shot that I don't know if they all see the light of day, but that one will definitely. Couple of highlights. I'm curious, and hopefully if Kelly can get in here in time, I'm curious hers as well. But I know for me, Toyota, their display, they probably, as far as manufacturers, between them and Jeep, probably had the best displays. I was a little disappointed with Ford Performance's display. We went to cover their press event where they were unveiling their carbon fiber F100. I forget what they called it, Clyde or something like that.
Yep.
Just was awful presentation. It was awful. And they could have put that
it was too crowded. It was too low because it's a slammed out F-150, all carbon fiber, F-100, excuse me, 1969 F-100. And the way they made the press release sound, like I thought they were presenting the Ford Performance Garage and all of the new parts for Bronco and F-150s and, you know, kind of what the new way forward on how you could order a new Ford and all of the part, like you can get it as a whole package or you can piecemeal it in all the ways. And they were like, there was probably 100, 150 people like crammed, staring down on this slammed F-100 and you couldn't see or get around it.
So as a journalist, what pissed me off about that was and it's no fault of these people, but the Friends of Ford people were there. I'm sorry, they're influencers. I get it for Ford, but there's certain times when they need to keep them out of the way. I know they want to get excitement stuff too, but guess what? They're going to take a picture of it. They're going to get their face, a selfie in front of the picture, and they move on. They really don't give a damn about. Trust me, I've dealt with enough of these people. They have parts they like whether it be Bronco or whatever, but they get invited to anything that seems to be a Ford gets excited about. They get invited to all this stuff, and I see the numbers they do as well, and I'm just like, I don't know why they continue to do that. But there was some influencers kind of in the way, lots of press as well. I knew some people that were in the crowd, and I gave up. I wanted to cover this. Of course, Mark was our Viking giant that probably could have put me on his shoulders, and I would have been okay.
But we should have done that.
No, I don't. Not with Mark. Mark's got a new hip.
What? He's
all
fine.
Of a sudden you see it go down like this. It's like, oh, Mark went up. Mark's got a low tire. But no, I gave up on it. And you guys, clearly a lot of the audience here knows I cover the Ford brand pretty heavily. And it was very disappointing. I think that truck should have been on a riser of some sort. Yep. Beautiful truck. Me and Mark went and did a walk around after the fact. I think the next day maybe, or at the end of the day.
I think we went back at the end of the day.
Yeah. And
no, it was the next day.
Was it?
I know because you guys are videoing and I still had my donut box.
Yes, which we'll get into.
Somebody had my donut box. Anyway.
But yeah, so Ford Performance, the garage stuff that we saw though was pretty interesting. Bronco,
Yes.
where you'll be able to order some of these things. I'm hearing limited production, like there's a window to order the stuff. I don't know. I haven't read into the press release because I'll just be honest. After that experience, I just didn't care.
Did
But it
they
was nice to
talk?
see. Do what?
Sorry. Did they talk further about the Ford Custom Garage? Like they mentioned it
I
during
couldn't.
that
I moved
display, but
on. I know
Yeah.
you ladies were still kind of hanging around that area, or Mark. I don't know, but yeah, I'd moved on. I was so upset that I could not. Most press, like most press events I've been to at SEMA, they're on risers.
Yeah.
They really they make it because they know, and I know what it was. Ford didn't want to spend the money for that stuff. I get it. They didn't have a ton. Honestly, the Ford Garage could be something, and it might in a year you never hear of it again. So it's they don't want to throw too much money at it. So I understand that. But we got to see crate motors, which was cool. We got to see the Raptor R engine. Of course, they put a Raptor R engine in that Clyde truck, which was cool, with a manual transmission, which I don't know how that works out. I don't know how the tires stay under that truck, but it'd be fun
Yeah.
burning them off. But
And yeah, and to your mention about like limited edition releases, I know the complete package trucks, like the F-150 700, the dark matter package on the Bronco, as a complete build. From what I saw, they would do limited edition, limited releases. You can only order so many at this time.
yeah,
But the way I read it, it looked like the parts, like if you wanted that suspension or you wanted, this or that off those vehicles, you could order that through the Performance Garage.
yeah. I'm gonna pull up. I think I got a picture or two of the Performance Garage. I'll pull up. Yeah, I mean, it was neat to see some of the parts. You definitely can see why there's been a rash of, and I know our friends over at IAG has felt this pain of grills and stuff being pulled off websites, because Ford, with their new custom shop of stuff they're trying to do, is they're wanting to make all that money for themselves. So you can definitely see after we saw them, their display, you definitely see, oh, I see why Ford's not wanting to the badges, the Bronco graphics and stuff. I mean, I understand why they're going after people now.
Oh yeah.
Sorry. Still scrolling, guys.
I think it's interesting that they waited so long though. My bread and butter and what I know about cars is the Bronco market. I wore my OJ Bronco shirt today. But here we are almost 3-4 years into the Gen 6, and now all of a sudden Ford's like, oh wait, we made this fully customized vehicle. Maybe we should offer some additional customizing. And it's hurting everyone that's supported Ford for, the last 4 years with the Gen 6.
Yeah, I mean, I can see that. But
just my 2 cents.
the script and all that, you're still going to have every person on Etsy trying to make $1 off that stuff. That's just going to be what it is. Damn it, Sid, you're supposed to keep me straight here.
I don't even know what you're doing.
I know. See,
Executive producer, come on, Sid.
yeah.
I barely know what we're talking about.
Well, that sounds like a you problem.
Well, I wasn't in Vegas.
When IAG sets up a booth, I'll let you set my truck up in it.
Yeah.
It was a walking booth. It was a good walking booth, though.
Right?
Yeah.
He did a lot of walking.
Let's see.
Oh yeah,
here.
Dad, share your camera roll with the world.
Well, I'm trying to, Sid. I really am.
You'll see how
All
much
right,
I
so
spotted.
here's some of the parts that they were going to have. Let's see. This is the accessory stuff.
Thanks for zooming.
Sorry. Yeah, no, I'm in my glasses tonight. Trust me, I need to zoom too. And of course, you can see the scripts and stuff. And they had, what they were selling some carbon fiber parts for the Raptor, like the air vents on the side and stuff. Which I was like, shit, I might need that. Like right here it is. There, the carbon fiber vents, the classic script. Of course, being a it's going to be overly priced when it comes to the old Fords there. Now, this was some of the displays they had of coming soon. Outer Banks, what is that, Trail Series?
That's the dark trail.
Okay. And then I can't remember. Looks like the same vehicle. Well, it's white rims versus black. The surf the
The beach.
Toyota had the surf concept, and Mark was like, "Look, Ford has one too."
Pretty though.
I mean, it was literally like a direct response. Like they heard Toyota was doing, a TRD surf concept with a removable roof, and Ford was like, "Ah, we have something we can do that too.
Put a surfboard.
Put a
on.
surfboard on top. We call it the beach, and like we'll
Yeah.
do the same thing."
We
It looks cool.
Let's see. Now, here was something a lot of people are going to like, which was the F-150, the FP700S, which I believe is was it a
That's
supercharged?
Yeah, that's the Whipple supercharger. That thing was a beast. All the suspension, all the engine work that's done in that, like someone's going to lose tires in that truck.
Yeah, and you can't really see it, but you can see where they put Ford Performance on the side and stuff, which I thought was I felt like the full-size trucks for Ford, they did a better job with the badging, the special badging for the trucks than they did Bronco. Now, Broncos were locked up where we really couldn't see. I mean, you could see inside. Nothing stood out to me of any special badging, Mark. I don't know if you noticed.
I didn't see anything crazy or special about any of the Bronco badging. The new
Mustang,
bronze Ford Performance Garage badging, that green one to the right of that display had on the back, we noticed.
Mm-hmm. If you didn't have a dark horse, but you kind of wanted some dark horse parts, they definitely were showing where you could now order some of that stuff as well. I do like this. At first, I just thought it was oh, this is just them showing. No, this is going to be badging on these vehicles, which I was talking to you, Mark. I thought it was nice that they're going to do badging when you order a custom.
Oh, yeah.
They're not really custom, but when you order one of these custom garage vehicles, because a lot of times, and I know if Allie was in here or I know Laura's in here, people take vehicles on trades and you might not actually know that, oh, this was a special edition. You might think, oh, just people put some aftermarket parts on it. And no, I mean, the idea that the scripts come on the side of these vehicles, the badging here, definitely I think the seats were a little different as well, maybe.
I want to say a couple of the trucks, I know the Built Wild Fun truck had specialty seat material inside. So they're doing some upgraded seating and custom stuff with all of these trucks.
Yeah. But yeah, so factory done Bronco badging, which was nice. The wheels, I wasn't big. I don't really have a good picture of the wheels, but bronze with this green was great, but I'm not a fan of these wheels. But there's something for everybody. And that's the cool thing about SEMA is it's definitely there's parts for everybody. I'm not the end all be all of what's cool and what's not. You are. The person buying it is. So that's kind of the fun stuff. But to quit picking on Ford a little bit, overall the F series, they had some really nice F series there. I don't think they had a Bronco Sport sitting there, did they?
No.
There was one in between the halls somewhere.
The Built Wild Fun was down in one of the halls.
Yeah. And they did have the Built Wild Bronco, the full-size Bronco sitting at their booth. It was very nice. I seen Michael Levine was around, but I didn't get to talk to him, which was a bummer. I'm gonna interview Mike one of these days. I'm gonna try to get him on the show sometime. He's been very nice to me and Kelly over the years, so I need to play nice and be nice back. Sorry, Mike, I'm picking on your booth if you're watching this. You what?
But some of the booth placement, we had no idea Stellantis was even there.
Well,
and all of a sudden I was going through the halls, and I'm like, is there anything in any of these other halls we might want to look at? And all of a sudden there's a huge booth for Stellantis and Mopar, at the far side of the Chinese tires.
Right.
Everybody else was kind of centrally located, your other manufacturers and stuff. And then they were like, oh, put Stellantis at the far end of the tire bays, and
yeah, it was a huge booth.
It was great. They had an amazing display. So many Jeep concepts.
The red 392.
They had the RHO.
Yeah, we got it in the Ram Row.
The Scooby.
She's here. Lady's here.
She's here.
Oh, there. Oh, everybody. All right, we weren't talking about anything. I swear. Yeah, which was good because Jess, you're not necessarily a Ram girl or anything, but you got to experience some of the product, which was cool. Of course, in concept form too, so you got to see maybe where they're heading in the future. I have to say though, before we get too deep into this was my favorite picture of the whole time. We
Oh,
Yeah.
yay.
we got Bronco in there. We've got Tim and daughter in there. Of course, Kelly, me, and you guys in there. And this was I haven't even tried to edit that video yet. The Bronco.
that's so long.
That's going to be a long video.
Oh God.
I'm pretty sure at one point I was like, I need to sit down if Dave's going to keep talking to Derek.
Sorry, man.
He spent like half the day filming just the Bronco, which
I was very impressed with it. And I was
deserved
very
it. Like,
Worth
impressed.
it.
I mean, Monica and Derek did an amazing job on that build. Like,
Well, so you guys know Armadillo Tops is on that, and I've not been an Armadillo Tops fan. I like small businesses when they're trying to do stuff, but sometimes, in my opinion, small businesses sometimes they can't live to the detail they would like because they just can't afford the quality of equipment. And so some of the early Armadillo Tops that I've seen were just awful, and not the design of it, just the manufacturing of it. And come to find out after talking to them, hey, these were definitely concept tops that you saw, you know. And then I got to see their final production stuff, like here and the one next to it, and the one there was a 2-door outside. Was very impressed with it, man. I have to say, I'm not going to eat crow because the tops that I did see were
right.
not prime time ready to go.
Pointed out, they had broken welds and everything else. Like, you had a reason to point out the defects.
But the tops that we saw here were fantastic. I know Bronco crew there, they were excited to buy this top, as they should be. I've been watching all their videos, so definitely I encourage everybody to go to their channel and watch the video of them assembling this vehicle, because for one, they beat the piss out of their Bronco. Like they love it, and they live in God's country of where you can just go off-roading it. Kind of, you name a direction, they can go off-roading. So that's kind of cool. Very jealous of that. But watching their videos of how much dirt was in this thing, they start ripping it apart. You know, they're putting Armalite in the bottom, which I think you have, right, Mark?
Yes.
In yours. They start doing all that, and they're like pulling all this stuff out, and there's just dirt everywhere. And I'm thinking to myself, that's gonna be a tough one to get to SEMA. Like, as much cleanup as this thing did, and I was so impressed with how much work they did on this thing. Excellent job. Super nice couple, man. Just super.
Oh yeah.
Solid there with people.
Yeah, I was really excited to meet them and a few of the other people that, you know, we met on the floor that we, you know pretty much from Instagram and other shows and stuff. So that was great.
Yeah, I know Rob was saying hopefully we'll see in Tennessee. I know at one point they were trying to get to Supercell East. I think they were supposed to be there last year, but I think plans changed when I think they knew they had a chance for this. As they should. Like, we focus, maybe we don't get to do all the fun trips in the summer because we got to focus, get everything we need in line to get this truck ready. But you're definitely going to see a video on this pretty soon, because it deserves, whether it gets 1,000 views or 10 million, it deserves what little respect I can show from my channel's perspective. They deserve all my respect on that build, because I don't know that I could get into that, honestly. I don't know if somebody said, hey, Dave, we need your truck for SEMA, and you have to do it all yourself as well. We're just going to throw you some parts. I don't have the time. I don't have the time.
I'll be over with my tools, Dave. It's okay.
We're on our way.
We got you.
No, Jess would be like, you're coming over here, right?
Yeah. I tried. We have a paved driveway now. There's tons of space. But we had mentioned, I think, I don't know if it was on the show or the week before, like Mark actually ordered one of the Armadillo tops,
which I gave him shit about.
SEMA. Yep. He said he was going to wait and see it at SEMA, and then like 3 days before, I see him posting on Instagram. He's at work. I'm at home, and I'm like, so you had an expensive morning, huh? But then he took time. We walked out. One of the guys we know from Instagram had his truck out at the, what was it, TIS tire?
TIS tire.
Yeah. Mark took time and like actually looked at all the details of that and was super impressed. I think you had posted something about it.
Yeah, I shot a quick reel on it and posted that out and tagged RJ and the team and stuff like that. But I've spoken to Fabian, who runs the company, and his team, and people that have worked with him production wise. I spoke to them at Supercell East earlier this year. I spoke to them to Stampede to get a better understanding of how they were being built, but more importantly, how their production lines work. How does the ordering process work? Because as everyone knows, we've seen some hardtop manufacturers kind of fall on their face. So before I
Overpromise,
invested that,
never deliver.
before I invested in all that, I wanted to know, like, how are you producing this? What does a production line look like? You know,
Yeah.
when do you
Which we're gonna get them on the show because
Yeah.
after seeing finished product, I feel comfortable. There's certain times where I don't feel comfortable having manufacturers on here because I'm very cautious. And you guys heard in that video about Advanced Fiberglass's issue with the other company's top. I'm very cautious to want to promote anything. And luckily I was able to get my money back on that, but I felt bad, like, hey, we're buying one, you know, like throwing my support, and we mean nothing here. Trust me. I'm not that, but yeah. And I was giving Mark shit about, I was like, are you really going to order that, Mark? Cause I get it. I get the cool look of it. Especially I think two-door, it's going to look awesome.
I think it'll look awesome on the truck. I like the functionality of it. Still being able to remove roof panels, and whether anybody else has researched it, but you can remove the side windows and the back window because they build this as a permanent hardtop. It's not meant to go on and off as you want to do open concept safari mode. So I wanted to know, like, and I talked to one of their team, and how do the windows come out? How does the back glass come off? How quickly, how much work goes into this? It was very, very simple. Like, they had an easy explanation on how to remove that stuff. And I was very comfortable, especially, like I said, walking around and seeing the actual production trucks, you know, what's actually coming off. You know, but I ordered early before SEMA, knowing what the production requirement was and how many orders they needed prior to going into production for that line. And I didn't want to wait and have SEMA happen and them get a rush of orders and me miss out on an initial group and push my build to a later time. So I did pull the trigger early. Someone asked me if I had an expensive morning. I did. But, you know, I'm excited for it. And I talked to the team. One of the things they haven't really shown, although the crating they've shown loading into XPO and the trucks for shipment look very well built. I've yet to see a interior view of that crate. How's it packaged? When you got the hard top that you guys just
the rally top,
Steve and stuff, rally top. Thanks. You guys, one of the comments you made was how well packaged it was. And I told the Armadillo team, I said, when I receive this, expect a full unboxing video, like, and I'll do it for the channel, because I want people, if this comes in, you know, in chicken wire and bubble wrap, you know, or does it come?
I think they know now. Don't do that.
Right? Yeah, seriously. Or does it come in well done? And I haven't seen that. And I think when you make a purchase of this size and you pay for shipping, you want to know that this item is going to come in without damage.
Right. Yeah, no, I think so too.
Catastrophic truck accident or something like that it's outside the control.
I'm curious on how it changes the driving dynamics of the vehicle as well. The way it, you know, it's metal. It's not going to flex like the fiberglass tops and stuff will allow the body to flex. So I think it'll stiffen the vehicle up some for you as well.
Yeah. And,
but we'll get it. We'll get more into that definitely when that comes. But I will, as my Bronco people, this was probably my favorite Bronco of the show.
Oh, the Crush,
the Orange Crush, man. This thing was just, it felt, other than the roof rack, felt everything about it was time correct, period correct about this. It was just a fun vehicle.
Pretty.
Yeah, I like and I love the little Orange Crush. I thought that was a nice little touch to it. And you can see Max Tracks or somebody in the background. You know that paint is right when
Well, it's got the Bronco Driver magazine logos on there, and I saw the day after we left, Tom from Bronco Driver was at SEMA, so we missed him.
We did miss Tom.
We'll have to coordinate next year.
Well, you know, he's literally lives 100 miles or so away from me, and I only see him at Supercell East, I guess. So I can't say. I was thinking, have I met Tom? Yeah, I've met Tom. Jeez, what am I doing? Any other vehicle highlights for you while we were talking about the Ford stuff?
On the Ford side specifically?
Well, just Ford vehicles in general.
I mean, there was I think there's a lot of great builds. You know, obviously, like every time I saw a Bronco, I was like, oh, another Bronco. You know, what Ford had in their booth, we kind of already talked about. There was, you know, some really cool looking stuff, but nothing that jumped out to me like, oh, I have to have that. I'm gonna go put an order in for my, F-150 7,000 or whatever it was. I don't know. But yeah, there was like all the trucks that we saw inside. And like Mark said in the beginning, like all the builds that were outside, so many cars, like just to see what people are doing. And, be it, hey, they got a whole bunch of money and free parts and are doing it, whatever. Or, there's folks that we know from Instagram who, have modded their entire Bronco and it's a show vehicle. And it's awesome. It was cool to see that in person. Like, we followed their channel and their posts and stuff. So to see their car, I never actually found them, but I saw their truck. That was a good time.
And I like seeing some of the base build stuff. Those Earth Roamers that we looked at that Kelly had shot some video, those are on Ford F550 chassis. Like those things are beasts. Like it was just crazy to see how other companies like Earth Roamer are using Ford bases. Bye everybody. No, they left us in charge. Quick, hijack the show. But they do. They use Ford bases to build these huge builds off of. Interesting just to see Ford utilized in those builds as well. Because I didn't see a Ram with an Earth Roamer on the back of it. Like, just wasn't happening.
There was Ram had their 2500 concept. I forget their Prospector concept. I believe was in the Ram booth. If I remember right. You were talking about cars outside stuff. I felt like a big kid. Like,
oh yeah, the DeLorean. Yeah,
I was so happy to see it. I didn't even want to get near it. I just was so happy to just see it like this. I was like, Kelly goes, "You want to go get your picture next to it?" I was like, "No, this is good right here."
I feel like there were a handful of times in the 2 days that I was like, do you want me to take your picture? But there was another DeLorean sitting there that like the doors were open and it wasn't that one. It was like on a side somewhere on a side street. Mm-hmm. And I turned to Mark, I'm like, can I get in it? And he was like, no. And I'm like, but I want to get in it.
Right?
He wouldn't let me.
Yeah, it's like, what fun is that?
Right.
Anything else? Because I know for both of you, obviously it's your first time there, so it's very overwhelming. You can definitely go into car overwhelming of like, I don't know where to go. Like I did my first video I shot, which was the first one you guys saw on the channel, was the what's the guy's name? Tattoos all over his face. Oh God, his Bronco. Oh geez, I'm just trying to get to the picture. Post Malone.
Oh yeah,
right.
Post Malone's Bronco.
I thought we were talking about a real person.
Yeah, I was like, who are we talking about?
Yeah, no. Hold on a second. Y'all can talk amongst yourselves.
What is this, coffee talk? Why do you keep leaving us on the ledge? Like, what? My God.
No, not Jelly Roll. It was Post Malone.
Yeah. And Dave started filming it, and he's like, "Who's that?" We're like, "Oh, it's Post Malone's Bronco." Like,
yeah, I don't really even know why he was. Was it his Bronco?
It's his Bronco. Well, Allie just said, he won it, and he has dropped a ton of money in it. Building. Oh, look, it's a Kelly. Hi, Kelly.
It's a Kelly. Hi.
It's amazing.
Sid grew up.
Right, just a little bit.
Yeah, I kind of know. So
You need to flip the names.
When I do these,
Well, ours are backwards too, Kelly. It's fine.
Yeah.
No, yours are right.
No,
so when I do these videos, like usually you got to have one or two to kind of get you like kicked in, like an athlete of sorts, and I'm no athlete, trust me, clearly. But like I need that video to get me in. We walked in and I saw after we got our press badges and stuff, I was like, oh, there's a Bronco. I'm just gonna go roughly. I didn't even know at first it was Post Malone's Bronco.
He just shot it and then he looked.
Yeah, I started looking and I had to redo the intro to that video because I was like, oops, there's more to this than meets the eye. But yeah, so that was fun getting to see because that Bronco looked like it had been used too. It didn't look like it was like just showroom new, which was fun. Did Post Malone build that vehicle? Did he order everything himself? Probably not. But it was cool. I thought that was cool getting to see that. let's see what. So Kelly just jumps in. What
Mhm.
was a couple highlights for you from the get go?
Oh, I don't know.
Hi, Bryce.
The fact that we got so many of the halls checked off our list actually this year compared to previously, we'd never been in the South Hall before. So that was kind
Have
of,
we
we never went up there.
That's
Is that where the tires were?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. We'd never made it to the South Hall before.
I can see why.
Well,
Yeah.
and I think we made good use of the little Tesla transport things.
100%. So
Right?
I actually have a reel coming for you guys on that or something. I don't know, some kind of something for you.
But I mean,
content-wise.
it's like a testament to how huge that campus is of the Las Vegas Convention Center that they're literally driving people underground between the different halls. And I think there's 5 maybe, and then all the lots and stuff. But
yeah,
I was like a kid in a candy store. Like, I'm not a Tesla fan at all, but I was really excited to finally be in one.
yes.
Well, and we kept. They had the model. What was it? Model X
Yes.
that you kept
Yeah.
wanting to ride in, and could never.
And it would always be the one before our chance.
Yes.
It was always. It is just like, dang it. But yeah, and I'm also not a really a Tesla person, but honestly, as it turns out, that wouldn't have worked for us anyway, because all the Model X's that we saw had captain's chairs in the back seat. So
Oh, yeah,
we
you're
wouldn't have
right.
been able to fit all 4 of us in the same thing as well.
Yeah.
Right.
But yeah, it was funny because this definitely wasn't the year of the Bronco like it was when we went in 21, but there were still
No.
a ton of Broncos there. I think in the
Yeah, there
show
was.
app, it was like 79 Broncos were there or something crazy.
I don't think they overwhelmed the Jeeps, but they were. It was getting more balanced.
Yeah,
of
For
Jeep
sure.
to Bronco.
For sure. I don't know. I don't really know what stands out. I did appreciate, for all my Bronco people, I did appreciate the Ford booth that it actually showed all the different trims.
See, I was giving the Ford booth hell.
Of course you would.
Yeah.
But I
we
appreciated
kinda
they gave
talked
all
a
the
bit about it.
trims and compared and did all of those things. So I appreciated that. I won't say that was my absolute favorite by any means, but it was good to see all the different vehicles that you don't always necessarily get to see right away. And that's what's cool about SEMA is that, yes, I know you're building vehicles like in Crunch and all these things, but it's cool to see some of the innovations and the things that you may not get to see anywhere else. So that's really kind of what stands out for me for SEMA.
Oh, that rant was brought to you by.
You asked me a question. I gave you my answer.
It wasn't a rant.
I'm just playing.
Welcome in, Kelly.
Welcome to Marital Nation. Kelly shows up and Marital Nation starts.
And it's not even my fault that Marital Nation started this time. You asked a question and I answered it.
Yeah. Probably the vehicle though that I was most excited
Imagine that.
about. Bring this up here, and I bet
I
Mark.
feel like we
knows-
all have the same answer.
It's a Cybertruck, isn't it, Dave?
No.
With a
One of the
Woody wrap.
25,000 Cybertrucks that were there.
Right.
I saw someone post that the SEMA this year was the year of the Cybertruck. That they were just
which is I don't get it, and
everywhere.
I don't hate that vehicle, but I don't hate on it. It's not for me, but I don't freak out about it and get pissed off. But I was amazed of how many were there. Like people thought, oh, the Cybertruck's what's going to be the thing to get our company attention. I was like, maybe not the right attention.
What,
that you want.
Jess? We saw one booth that had 9 Cybertrucks in it.
So that booth, that vendor was the same. It was the wrap company that I made the quick silly reel on with the Woody wrap. Come to find out, I didn't realize that when we were standing there, I was being a jerk about it. And I was looking at all the, like, there was just a lineup of Cybertrucks. When I looked later and I was like, oh, that's the same company. And I found it interesting that like, that's their big marketing is like, we can wrap your Cybertruck.
Well, yeah, because they all come in one color, right? So like you
Right.
got to do something to make yourself stand out.
Yeah. And they had 2, if not 3 more outside. They had the Woody one and the American flag one that we had seen. And I
Mhm.
think there was another one sitting out there and it was all
Crazy.
that same wrap company.
Wow. That's insane.
But all the Cybertrucks were either wrapped or at like tinting booths and stuff like that. Like
Yes.
there was nothing.
I feel like we saw one with big deep dish wheels on it though. Like,
Yeah, and they were
Yeah.
one out there
Yes.
being polished.
Yeah, one out there on the outside.
oh yeah.
They were literally mirror finish polishing it.
Right. Yeah. They were next to the coalition off-road guys and all those guys out there. Mhm.
So for me, this one here was one I specifically when I saw this,
Yeah.
I wanted to see the Land Cruiser Rocks concept. Excited that Toyota's actually got something. I mean, this is not a production vehicle, nor probably will it ever be close to a production vehicle. But for one, the great color on this thing. I love the color with the top, the black top. They did an excellent job with that. But just was very, very impressed with what I saw, except for a couple things, and we'll get into that. But overall, it reminds me of that FJ a little bit. Gives you those vibes. It shows that Toyota probably should. I often think that the Land Cruiser now is bland. It's very just plain, like, hey, let's just I think Toyota knows people, if they want to do something to it, they'll do something to it. But it showcased what could be done to this thing. And let's see, I think I got a couple pictures maybe loaded up, or maybe not. So yeah. But let's see if I can find them.
It was very impressive. I wasn't, I kind of looked over the map and saw, who was where and what was happening. And we did get some advanced information as media, on press releases what was being released. But seeing that vehicle in person, I was like, we need a bigger garage.
Yeah, right. It
was super
we're
cool.
so sorry, and you're welcome.
Yeah, and
right?
Toyota done a couple videos on this rock concept, but there's always those things you see at SEMA, and you're like, "Yeah, that's a SEMA project,"
right?
And so they just bolted this through the plastic.
Hey, let's be honest. That's a better version of what we've seen.
Yes.
Hey, this is a SEMA project.
Yes, but definitely they made that front bumper sort of work on it, and I get it. This vehicle's not. They're not. Though they did off-road it a little bit.
There have been some SEMA projects where you can just tell that the paint is not even dry.
Yeah,
like that is a SEMA project.
Well, I think
the welds are really bad.
Bronco was talking about that. They got their truck out of the booth.
I don't know that was.
No, but they didn't have much time.
Yeah.
Before
they thought they were going to drive it wet down the road.
Oh yeah, that was the joke. It was
That's
drying
right.
as they drove to Vegas.
Yeah, but this thing would look great, man. I was very impressed with this. The rear tire carrier was awful, which I made a comment in the video about that. But yeah, there's my super smile. You can tell I was really happy. But
that's your super smile.
Yes, Kelly, come on, you know me. I think the star of the show though are right here.
Oh,
the true star of SEMA are these shoes. These are my Vegas shoes, everybody. I'm only doing this because I know this will aggravate the piss out of Kelly. Yeah, these are
the only place that he gets to wear those shoes is in Vegas.
I usually fly in them over.
Yes, because they're not SEMA shoes.
Yeah, you're not walking all day in those.
No, you don't want flat bottoms there at all. And I almost wore flat bottoms. And Kelly wisely told me, she's like, maybe you should take an extra pair of
I
shoes
said, maybe that's, but then who ended up with the blister?
Oh,
yeah, it was the weirdest thing. And it was on the side of my foot of all places. Like it doesn't make any sense.
I'm sticking with it's the socks. So blame Dave.
That's it.
Wait,
you're wearing his socks.
Meryl shoes.
She was all bragging about him, like, oh, those were my socks. Those are my socks.
Yeah, but then they did her dirty, so it's over.
True story. I was actually and I'm sure you already told them I was doing softball things tonight.
Yes.
And I actually was like, this is the first time I'm putting my feet in tennis shoes since we got back from SEMA. Do I wear the Merrills or do I wear the Hokas? And
Really?
I totally wore the Hokas tonight because I was like, we're not even going to take any chances.
No chances, huh?
I don't think I put shoes on since we got fed. Oh no, yeah, we went to the grocery store, so I put shoes on for that.
I've been wearing flip-flops or my actual Merrill sandals is what I wore this weekend at the tournament we went to for our daughter, but that was it. Like,
Then it rained. It was awful. Yeah, Hypermotive was talking about this one here, which me and Mark were both very impressed with, though, the white Land Cruiser.
Oh yeah.
It shows that you can do with a little, you can do a lot to make these things kind of look fun. Definitely the stripes on this thing were very, very cool. I don't know about the wheels for me. I think Mark, you kind of liked it, right?
I did. I like that full steel classic throwback,
Yeah.
And
but I don't normally like
sets off
graphics
with that vehicle. Like I thought that looked just totally clean. To me, that's ready to go to the beach.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
No, that's a different one.
Oh, sorry, that's a different one.
There's a different one for the beach.
Yeah, that I don't normally like this kind of stripes, but I may rock that if I bought it like
you're
that.
not.
Oh wow. No, you're not. Jeez.
Though those stripes remind me of the special edition that Toyota is offering. What is the name of that special edition? Do you remember that we saw at the Texas State Fair?
Oh, yeah, I forget what they call their racing stripes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not good.
Oh, but yeah, you like that. It's the same thing.
No, I mean it's not good because it's overly proud. What that is. Not
we're talking how it's similar.
sorry. We're talking the pertification.
Again, Marital Nation.
But I think all of Toyota's concepts were great. The Tacoma 84, that sand color with the kind of sunset graphic or whatever you want to call it that was on it. I mean, I thought that was a great pre-runner style.
I don't think I shot any photos of that. I ran there it is. I ran to the rocks.
To the rocks.
Me and Mark did a video of the surf that you've seen, and I just kept like,
I don't want to be here. I want to be over there.
Yeah, I want to be where that is.
And then Jess and I were working our way towards the Toyota booth when y'all were.
Yeah, and it was good. I think it was good when you got your video and coverage in when you did, because then they did like the official announcement of it.
Yes.
Which I was standing there for, and it was a madhouse.
Oh, wait,
my little arms were not big enough.
Have we told the story yet? Don't share that yet.
I want to finish up on this, ma'am. Thank you.
It's still relating to the booth.
Okay, go ahead.
So we're standing there, Jess and I are talking about how, like, covering the event and stuff like that. And she's like, I don't know if I hear somebody say wait, which Petty?
Richard Petty.
Richard Petty. Sorry.
Oh wait, no, I was leading to that because Jess was starstruck the whole damn couple days.
No, not the.
No.
Okay, first of all, the morning started with me we smacked into Bill Goldberg. And he was.
Hey, he's a celebrity.
That's right, he's a celebrity.
He's kind of a big deal. But
so he had a PR team with him.
His handler was made sure.
It was just immediately. I smacked Mark hard. Like I could have went to jail. I was like, oh my god. I don't care. I don't watch the wrestling.
The wrestling.
But it was like, we were there 2.5 seconds, and I was like, I saw kind of famous.
You didn't post that picture, did you?
No, she didn't.
Oh, I posted it somewhere.
It may not have been Instagram worthy. Was it Instagram worthy?
I put it in some silly conglomeration.
No, it was hilarious though.
No, it was. It was very funny because
it was just my dumb face.
Long story short, we were all struggling because
trying to find.
I love the SEMA staff. They're super helpful when they're helpful.
Well, they're helpful, but they're just don't.
That's
know
what I'm saying. They're super helpful when they're helpful, but this has been the second SEMA in a row where we've had multiple people tell us the wrong place to get our credentials for media. And poor Goldberg and his crew were running into the same problem of trying to get their credentials,
because he's just a I don't know, a hamster that somebody's dragging around. Like
right, he had a handler with him.
He knew where to be. He like, oh, okay, I'm in Vegas. And then it was like he had like a row of PR people. And I'm hilarious by this because I'm like, yes, I know he has a YouTube channel. I'm about to crap on him, but like he's a has-been of wrestling from 20 years ago. And
there weren't your shot of ever interviewing him.
Well, there would have our audience is probably a big wrestling audience. But it was just funny. And I'm only saying this because his PR team made it known this poor little guy was trying to help them get where they were supposed to be. And his PR team was so over the top of like, hey, he's a celebrity. Like, and I was like,
he's a celebrity.
They don't give a fuck, man.
Yeah. They were like, but he's a celebrity. And he was like, yes, and you have to go to this place.
Yeah, like,
well, granted, the guy was still wrong.
Like SEMA had a special helicopter for C-level celebrities on up that they get to take to the press.
Stop it. He's going to show up at our door and beat the crap out of you. Way to go.
We should have been like, follow us. We're celebrities too.
Right. We're celebrities in a different way.
You're going to make me spit this out my nose, man.
We're legit celebrities these days. No, I'm just
kidding. Wait, but you were going to give me shit about Richard Petty, weren't you?
I was. So we're standing there. So Jess and I had this whole conversation about like, hey, like, but if I like see Richard Petty, like I want to run over and be like, hi, I'm Jess, whatever that part of the conversation.
Well, I saw he was going to be there, and I grew up. My father raised me on the NASCAR. So, Dale Earnhardt, Richard Petty, all the good guys back in the day. This is real gray hair here. So when I saw that Richard Petty was going to be there, I was like, Richard Petty, no way. So we're in like mid conversation talking about the Rocks or trying to find Dave on Life 360 because he's somewhere in the
100%.
show. And I heard over the like down the way in the Toyota booth, they announced, Richard Petty, whatever. And
I said,
I'm
just
pretty
go.
sure like dead stopped. And I was like, Richard Petty, and I sprinted off.
That was the second celebrity that you got to see that day.
Yeah, but you weren't even here for this part. It was the cutest thing ever. I wish I'd have been videoing when it happened. I said,
we were talking
yes,
to
there's
somebody.
Richard Petty. Go.
We were mid conversation with Britt, and I just bailed. Sorry.
Yeah, it was.
Dave, I
it was
texted you the
hilarious.
Goldberg picture in case you want to put it on.
Oh yeah, I got to see this.
Oh my god, it's so stupid. I laughed all day about it.
Yeah, it was quite comical. But in his and his PR team's defense, again, this is the second year in a row that, well, I won't say in a row because we didn't go last year, but like this is the second attendee
Where did you post that?
experience.
I think
Where'd
she
you
just
post it,
texted it
Jess?
to you.
Oh, I texted
you
it to
sent
you.
Okay, no, that's
Yeah.
fine.
This is the second SEMA that we have gone to that there's been a little lackluster of knowledge by some of the people managing the doors because
Wait, the doors they're gone, man. That was
Can
the
you let me
60s.
finish? It doesn't always have to be a
Aw.
funny thing.
Boo.
Hey, the day destroys the night.
Anyway, because you go in the South Hall and the South Hall says, oh no, you have to go to the Central Hall. You get to the Central Hall and they say, no, you have to go to the South Hall. And the South Hall says, no, you got to be in. And here's the thing, folks, like Jess talked about was the Teslas between halls. You're not taking the Tesla between halls when they say, oh, just walk down this way and you'll end up in where you need to be for your badge. And at one point I was pretty nice about it, but I did say to the lady, I was like, are you absolutely sure that this is where we need to go? Because you're like the third person to tell us a different location. And she's like, yes, just go down there. And so then a little bit later, when we did actually get our credentials, I actually told her, I was like, hey, you were right. Thank you so much. We finally got where we needed to be. And she was like, oh, I'm glad you got there. So it's like, yeah, it was a hot mess.
Yeah,
So that is one feedback I do have. If there's any SEMA folks,
Because
please make sure you educate everybody on where they need to
didn't
go.
send this to a place I can really share it.
Oh, I could have done that. Oh my god. So stupid. It's Goldberg.
But that was fun. I mean, that's part of the fun.
Yeah.
Because there was Han dude from Fast and Furious I've met, and
He was there in 21.
People are so excited by that, and through the country music business, I've met so many people that I treat them like normal people. I don't get. I think I was telling y'all when we were walking over somewhere after that, I was like, I think there was one person I ever got overly excited about. I can't remember who it was, but it was my one little like schoolgirl moment, like, oh my god, I'm gonna fall down.
Wow, try that again. How'd that go?
Oh my god, I'm gonna fall down. But yes. So, anyways, back to the show. This was the vehicle Mark was talking about there. The was it Robbie Gordon's truck, I believe.
Was it ladder?
Oh no, Johnson. Sorry. X-Racer Johnson. It was cool. Toyota probably by far had the best booth though.
Yeah.
Definitely and that's a small booth from what they've had in the past.
They're in the same place that Ford was when we were there a few years ago.
Mm-hmm. Except Ford had that top layer and the bottom because they did the Jay Leno presentation on top.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, which was there. That's another celebrity. You got to see Fluffy and Jay Leno.
Yeah, Gabriel Iglesias and Jay Leno on the floor talking.
Yeah, but like my shortness didn't actually. I like saw him on the screen above where I'm like, I can't see people.
Yeah.
But again, there was no sort. They were literally like on ground level and then sitting down on couches.
Yes.
So like you could not, if they were up on a presentation stage, still on couches, being comfortable and talking, you could have had more people watching and enjoying the show and stuff because that they were putting on talking about cars and their affinity for building cars and collecting and stuff like that. but everything seemed to be just ground level, and then you hope that you're tall and could see over everybody. Like,
Right.
So you saw
Yes.
everything.
I saw a few things.
So
Aw,
here's
how cute we are.
there's Kelly and Jess there. I'm gonna have to do this the old fashioned way, just skin through these. Like, I feel like my grandfather. This is the Grand Canyon, and you can
At
see
least
how
they're not in a photo
many
booth.
times I got to take a thumbnail. This was a great Bronco as well. Let's see, and I kept making them take selfies.
True story.
And so you don't just take one, guys. You take 400.
And then, oh, by the way, thanks.
Wait,
for
wait,
sharing
go
the
back
picture that
one.
you did on Instagram.
Uh,
No, the other way.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah. We were just talking about that picture.
It looks like
Kelly's
honestly, it looks like a CD cover.
I literally showed Sydney this morning. He goes, "Mom, why did he do that to you?" I was like, "I don't know. You need to talk to your father. I don't know
And
why."
so I was like, Jess is like, look at my proud SEMA badge. Kelly's face is like, are you seriously
like,
taking a photo of me right now?
Yeah, are you
Super
effing taking a picture of me right now? Like, for real.
Yeah. Here's Jess and
In the kitchen.
and Mark. Yeah, in
Where
the
I'll go
kitchen.
long. That's it.
You guys will see with that. This is at the ARB booth, which that camper was pretty freaking impressive.
Yeah.
You'll see a video
I
drop on
did
that.
additional research to get a price point on it because I was like, we need this.
So did you figure out how much?
Yeah, was
48?
it? I think it was 48, but I didn't dig into it further. But it looked like it was only available in Australia. But I mean, I think if they're showing it at SEMA, it should be available in the States,
I
right?
would guess it's probably
Yeah.
for pre-order at this point.
Yeah, we you're the Land Cruiser though. We saw lots of Land Cruisers.
Yes.
Yeah.
Not very many Tacomas. I was very surprised, and it's not like you can't get them.
I was surprised. I thought that, we'd talked up that this was kind of the year of the mid-sized truck, and I don't feel that it really was.
No, I
They
was
just-
very disappointed with that.
I was very shocked that we only saw ourselves like 3 or 4 Ranger Raptors.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. There was, I think the 3 that I know of there,
Yeah.
and no, I don't think there was any other Rangers besides Ranger Raptors. Once again, not hard to get now.
Somebody could have had ours. Just saying.
Yeah, they could have. Of course, if you needed the Bluetooth drive shaft vehicles, there were plenty of those there.
Oof, so many.
In force. Definitely, this was a great place to go.
100%.
It's right next to
The pink box.
It's not. Yeah, that's a famous box.
I carried that box all damn day, and it
Yes,
was
you
worth
did, with
it.
pink shit in it.
With my little pink shit.
Yes.
All right. So they had amazing donuts at the bagel place. So we decided to get donuts. And one of them, like, it was literally, see the little gray shit? There was also a little pink shit.
Here's the pink
And-
shit.
No, there it
you go,
is.
Spinky.
It was delicious.
That's what it looked like before.
I mean, it didn't look that bad by 12 hours later. And I carried it around. I picked up a free backpack to literally carry around the donut box.
Legit. But let's talk about what was special about that backpack, Jess.
I had to wear it backwards.
Why'd you have to wear it backwards, Jess?
It had a Jeep on it.
Yes.
Sorry.
YouTube Car Spotters Guide. Did we see any NES Grenadiers? Yes. We saw a few, and one of the trucks.
No, there were two
Two.
trucks there.
Two of the
And there's
trucks.
only like 6 or 7 in the States, like on grounds of the trucks, and there were 2 at SEMA.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, also we got to see them. They were assembling the F1 track. There's the grandstands, which was cool.
Oh, yeah.
So I found out
Crazy.
tonight, one of the umpires that's on our board is actually going to Vegas next week, and he didn't even know that F1 was going to be there when he's there.
Ooh. Well, it's 17th through 21st.
No, it's 21st through 24th, and he's actually flying in on the 22nd.
Yeah. Sorry, buddy.
Yeah.
That's not
He's like, I didn't even know what was going on there. I was like, yeah, well, you're screwed.
Yep. All right. Highlight for me. They had
Right,
the
minimize.
The sphere.
the sphere.
Oh, Uranus.
Yes. No, I think that was Jupiter. But this
No.
one,
It's not happening.
This was from our window, our glass of our
Hotel room.
Which was not a casino, by the way. Which
No,
was nice.
it was not. And I was actually telling somebody about that tonight, that it was so nice that where we stayed was not a casino. If we wanted to participate in the casino, we could go through the mall and go to Planet Hollywood's casino. But you weren't required to like walk through a casino to get everywhere, and it was really nice.
But this was cool because it was spinning. It was like you were like you're on a spaceship outside of Jupiter, and you could see the moons going around.
Yeah, it was the coolest thing ever.
Epic, and there was more epic from that I cannot showcase.
Nope, that's separate.
You know what was also weird was, and of course we don't really get into politics, but what a weird place to watch the election results.
Yeah.
I have to say, like, I don't care how you voted and don't really care about all that, but I was like, we could actually go make a bet on this if we wanted to.
There was actually
Vegas
a
had an
SEMA
over-under on
viewing
it.
party for it.
Oh yeah, there was a whole like after hours thing for it.
So we also went to this restaurant, and thank you, Mark.
Yes, Jason.
for
You're
dinner.
at Alara.
Jason, that's exactly where we were.
Yes, we were. And it is absolutely the place that we will go whenever we go to Vegas going forward. 'Cause it was
Tacos.
perfect. So there's Dave's Tiny Tacos. And so thanks to Mark and Jess, we went to this place called the Flights. And literally it's flights of everything. So like I got a martini flight, and it was a lemon drop.
I got a water
A
flight.
Cosmo, and an appletini. And Dave got a flight of ahi tuna tacos. And then we got fries.
Flight of fries for the table.
Mm-hmm. And I got like a flight of street tacos, and
I got a flight of macaroni and cheese.
oh
Yeah, you did. Yeah, you did. What was it, like truffle mac and cheese and like mac and
A
cheese?
traditional and then deep fried mac and cheese.
Yeah. So like and everything was very good. The food was very good.
Yeah,
The
it
drinks were
was.
very good. How was your water, Dave?
Tasty, refreshing.
I
So
wanted to go back for breakfast because they had flights of French toast. I was like, what?
no, we never made it back.
Well, 'cause
Makes me sad.
We had to go work.
I know, dang work.
One of Kelly's highlights.
Yes.
A Chevy. There was two of them.
What?
There was another one that I've seen in somebody else's video. Kelly was all excited because her first brand new car was a Chevy Cobalt.
Yep.
And she like made us go find this car again.
Yeah. That's because you said I could come back.
That's right. She was yelling at it. She's like stormed over there. You said I could go back to this.
Well, I also was like 2 Tito's in at that time.
Yeah, and she bought a shirt that
The
probably the
Tito's
wrong size
booth.
shirt. And
Oh, are we talking
That
about
was a
this?
different
Did
time.
you see the controversy on this?
Uh-uh.
So this guy
this is
claimed
a
to obviously
Miata.
have a Lamborghini swapped engine. It doesn't run. Those are Chinese turbos. It's actually sitting on a Chevy small block. It's just the headers. It doesn't run. He ended up getting towed out of the show. They came over. The guys from SEMA came over with a golf cart and towed him out to stop all the hate.
wow.
Yeah, he did bad.
Yeah, he did bad things. He made lies.
Well, I'm so glad that we got to take some pictures of it first.
Yeah. But it was a huge thing. Everybody's like, "Oh, have you seen the Lambo swap Miata?" And then someone like walked up and like zoomed in underneath the Lambo headers and was like, "That's a Chevy small block. Like, look at how he's got it mounted up. Like, these are off-putting Chinese turbos." Like,
Well, but here's the thing. That's kind of what SEMA is about.
Yeah, let's be
SEMA's
honest.
like, it should have just been put in the freak show.
Yeah, let's be
Right.
honest though. Every one of those big overly lifted trucks, they barely can drive through there themselves.
and I think if he not advertised how fast it would go and what it was
Oh.
doing, it probably would have just been like, "Oh yeah, it's a freak show build. Look, he cobbled together these with that," and But he was, reporting that he had a sticker apparently in the window with the speeds and all this other
Oh,
stuff.
okay. I can see that.
Yeah.
And my love of
Bloody Marys.
Bloody Marys came from Vegas.
Oh yeah, welcome to the Bloody Mary Club.
Yes, which I'm having tonight, by the way.
And y'all can keep them. You and Jess can
Oh.
keep them.
Seriously,
Mark,
All right,
go
we're doing all the
Tito's.
brunching.
Tito for
Well,
life.
It's
hey, I'm
still
with you on the
Tito's.
Tito's.
Yeah, but not
So-
with tomato soup in it.
So funny thing, yes, tomato soup. That's exactly what I told Dave it was. It was tomato soup with some vodka in it. And
Yeah.
You
so
put olives
funny,
and pickles and stuff in it.
well, funny thing is, Jess, I don't know if we told you this, but like when we were at the airport, you and Dave had gone to the bathroom at the same time, like obviously separate restrooms, but like
I was like, wait, I missed that.
Mark and I ordered the same drinks at lunch. You and Dave ordered the same drinks at lunch. And like, he was like, you do realize like who in our relationships we're with, like they're identical. Like sure enough, like Mark and I are the same person with the same people. And it was just kind of funny. Like,
Well,
how
and Kelly and I are both taller than our spouses, so like
that's true.
you know.
True story.
So there's so many similarities
So
between
many.
the two of us.
Well, that was the show tonight.
Yeah, now we're gonna get kicked off. Great.
But I will say, you know, like sometimes you travel with people and you're like, man, we can never travel with these people again. And I will definitely say it was so good that I feel like our friendship grew after this trip versus like being like, oh, I can never travel with these people again. At least that's how I feel on this side. I'm sure, well, Dave says no, but
Don't listen to Dave. He was mean all weekend. No, I totally agree. Because, you know, Kelly, you know, softball or travel, we all been there and like, no, not that person. And
Yeah.
never at any point in the last couple months that we were like, we're going to go spend 4 days with Dave and Kelly, was I concerned. I was like, it's going to be a blast. And it was.
well, and we did that. I guess we had our pre-trip because we had our Supercell trip. And so this one was, even though this was a shorter time period, I feel like this is a more concentrated time period because we had so much we had to get done in such a short period of time. So this one, I feel like it was probably a good test after.
Right. And we added in like the stress of SEMA itself and flying and all the other things. But like 10 out of 10 would do it again.
Same.
Would recommend.
Would recommend.
Yeah.
We're great. Now we
Same.
have a Yelp review. Kelly, you wanted a picture by this big ass tire.
I did because one of our former players, her mom and I were actually talking at a travel ball tryout, how she was having to like find a tractor tire for like her mother-in-law or something. And that was like her calling around all over town to try to figure out this like size of tractor. And I was like, we got to get that picture so I can send it to her, which it probably was not even the right size, but it was just like, we had that like back and forth.
Yeah. Favorite, probably not Land Cruiser, but basically Land Cruiser, the GX 550 Overtrail. This was probably my favorite vehicle of the show.
Yeah.
Practical vehicle.
I like the GX 550 in general.
I like it better than the Land Cruiser, but this was I was really impressed with the bumper for one thing. Really
So
dug.
was that an aftermarket bumper over there?
I assume so.
I just didn't know how much you got into.
I was too tired by this point to really question the legitimacy of this bumper. But I like how it tucked really nicely into that, and they did a good job making it look like it belonged.
Yeah, I didn't even notice the bumper.
You were pretty.
I didn't either.
You were pretty.
No,
tapped
but
out by
even
then, Jess.
in the photos, like what bumper are we talking about?
Yeah,
Oh, I
because
see it
it's
under
so
there.
tucked under there
Yeah.
that it's done well.
Yeah.
That you didn't even notice it.
I wanted this.
Big Deborah.
Man. For one, little Big Deborah was funny, but I just love how lowered it is, and it's on these little thin ass wheels.
I feel like that was there when we were there a couple years ago.
Might have been. Our daughter would have loved this.
The G wagon.
The G wagon that was all kitted out.
Our daughter loves G wagons.
Yep.
Only because they're bougie.
Uh-oh.
If
Yeah,
she saw the
no,
actual
no,
interior, she
no.
wonot.
Yeah, no, we're not going down that path.
No.
We've been burnt by the Germans before. we're not going down that German car path right now.
If we ever do, it'll be Elise. We already talked about that.
Oh wait, we got this photo.
Uh-oh.
We sure do.
Yeah, I promoted.
Oh.
Look at that guy.
Yeah, we went to dinner with IAG there.
Yeah, there was no pineapple on the door. Not that kind of trip.
No.
No.
We had 2 doors, so it's fine.
Yes. We had a
Technically, we
2-bedroom.
had 3 doors. No,
That is
4
true.
doors. You had your own door. We had our own. There's 2 doors on my door. Our main door. Jesus Christ, this is getting complicated. We had like 6 doors.
Yeah. So so the way that our resort was, or our room, or however you want to refer to it is there's a 1-bedroom like hotel room type that has I don't know, what do you call it? A tiny little, what do they call it? It's a An
Like a kitchenette?
efficiency type kitchen where it's just a
Yeah.
sink, a dishwasher, and some dishes and stuff like that. And then there was also a like full 1-bedroom like apartment, so to speak, attached to that. So there was a door between the two. So that's how kind of our room was. And
It was kind of
Yeah.
like college where we like shared a common space in the living
Yes.
room and then we had our own bedrooms. Yes.
Sorry,
it
she's
was-
not been out of the house much. It's
no,
called a
that's
suite.
not what I was.
Don't worry.
No, but
I
like
don't like either.
the way that hotel is,
I
though,
know.
you can book just the hotel room one that's like just the efficiency, or you could book the 1-bedroom suite.
Yeah.
Or you could book the two together, so that way you just have a one door between. And so
Yeah.
that's why Dave was saying is like we had 2 doors in ours, they had 2 doors in theirs, essentially. So
Yeah. Oh, and also
yeah, studio. Thank you, Rob Hallmark. That's essentially what I was thinking.
Also, I need y'all to please watch this video for me. This is our Kumo tire walk around. They were very excited to have the channel actually
Yes.
come see them. Like they purposely wanted us to come see them.
Yeah, they
So-
reached out to us to come see them.
So
And he was late to the booth because of Bronco.
Yep.
I heard y'all talking about Bronco on the way
Yeah.
home. So yeah, so he was even late, and they were still happy that we showed up.
Derek and the Puerto Rican.
What?
Bronco. Remember he called his wife in the the video's not out yet. It'll make sense when you see that.
I was gonna say I didn't.
In his video, it was funny because he was talking about Blanco. He's like, I married a Puerto Rican, so I had what did he say? It was something hilarious that he said.
I don't know, because you did the interview under the truck, and I have that picture that I shared.
That's the best.
So it's funny because I was standing there talking to Monica, and I'm like looking at my watch, like we're so late for this interview right now.
He was definitely not camera ready. We'll say
No.
that.
Super nice guy though.
Oh, yeah, very nice
super great crew over there. But yeah, Monica goes, she points down, she looks, she goes, aren't they cute? It's like they're in a fort or something. And I was like, I gotta get a picture of this. And so that's when the picture that you see on Instagram is actually from that, of them being under the truck and like doing their interview and everything under it. So it was good times.
Yeah, that was great. No, I think what'd you say something about you won't see any other channel under the car? Or
Oh,
something?
I get down and dirty. Something about we get down and dirty. Wait for the video or something.
Down and dirty on that double plush carpet.
Maybe I shared it on Facebook.
I don't know. Let's see. There's one more thing I wanted to showcase. If I can find it.
Yeah, I must put it on Facebook.
The Book of Faces.
The Book of Faces.
Well, damn it.
Oh, you
Oh,
did?
there it is.
Yeah, there it is.
Yeah, so we're under his truck, just trying to video.
Just like talking.
Yeah,
Just
probably
hanging
Derek's been standing all day, so probably he was like, you know what?
He probably was
This
like,
feels-
"Hey, I'm okay with laying down."
This is pretty great. It's pretty great. Overall experience for you guys. I'm assuming you've had a good time.
That was a great time.
Absolutely.
Present
Yeah,
company
the whole thing.
excluded. Just kidding.
Super
No,
including
us.
present company. No, and I mean, shoot, at the end of the day, I got to play some slot machines. I won
came ahead?
$78. That's all that matters.
We didn't gamble once.
Yeah, we didn't gamble at
The
all.
only time we gambled was our Uber drivers.
That's true story. Oh,
that was fun.
so about that one.
Oh my god.
So
We're leaving SEMA.
we're leaving SEMA the first day, and like at this point, we don't realize that we've walked 9 miles,
Well, so for the
but our feet are telling us. we
so for
did.
the setup is a lot of these hotels and resorts have buses. They will shuttle you over there,
Yes.
and they do it at the beginning of the show and at the close of the show.
and it's all part of the SEMA
Yeah.
process.
Yeah.
And it's part of your registration
But-
essentially with SEMA.
But at the time, the first night, we were like, you know what? That's a long walk to go back to because we would have had to go across.
Yeah, because
Oh
we're
yeah,
gonna
we were
have
on
to
like
wait in
one
line.
side, had to go all
Yes.
the
We
way
were
to the
at
other.
West Hall. We were on the far
We
side
have
of
to
West
wait in line
Hall,
for
and
the
we'd have to go
Tesla
back to South.
shuttle and all the things
Yeah.
and walk over and all
Yeah, it would
those
take us like
things.
7 vehicles to get back to our hotel.
Yes.
Yes.
And so we were like, you know what? Let's just get an Uber or a Lyft, whatever. So I booked it under Lyft. And literally, like the first thing is
9 minutes away, right?
11 minutes. 11 minutes away. Your driver's 11 minutes away.
Hey,
Hey, you're causing trouble.
you want to tear up the new
Rick
studio?
wants to talk about SEMA.
No, he just wants to smack the ball. But so it's like 11 minutes away. And we're like, okay, 11 minutes. And then like 11 minutes later, it's like 9 minutes away.
Yeah.
And then some more time ago. And then it goes, oh, wait, we found a closer driver. And it's like,
No, but the first one we got said something about he was deaf.
oh, yes, he was hard of hearing. He was
yeah.
deaf. And
Wait, and you immediately started practicing sign language.
I
was
did
so
because
proud of you.
in the Lyft app, it actually
Yeah.
it's like if you'd like to learn how to communicate with your driver, click here. And so it takes you of like, thank you and hello.
And F off.
And so we're practicing.
the middle
I'm
finger, right?
practicing that. No.
Oh, okay.
So I'm practicing that. I'm prepared, right? And then all of a sudden it says, you have a new driver. And I was like, oh, okay. And it's like 9 minutes away. And we're like, okay, is it really 9 minutes or is it not? Well, another like 9 minutes goes by. And it's like, we found another driver for you. And we're just like, are you freaking kidding me? I was like, okay, guys, this is the car we're actually looking for now.
Yeah.
And then finally, what did we say? 57 minutes.
Yeah. It took 9 minutes, took 57 minutes.
9 minutes took 57 minutes for the Lyft driver to show up, the final
Wait,
Lyft driver to show up.
And did we end up in a Dodge Durango?
Yeah.
I think so.
Yes.
Yeah. Silver Durango.
Yes. Because we were supposed to be in an Infinity.
Right?
And then we were supposed to be Honda something. And then we ended up in a Dodge Durango. And yeah, it was a mess.
It was all right. We made it.
But we learned leave before the 5 o'clock
Oh yeah.
announcement. So
Well, we were trying to find the company that does the Bronco and Mustang bikes. That's why we were trying to find. They supposedly, I still have never seen their booth, but they supposedly had a booth.
they were supposedly in the Real Trucks booth.
Yeah, which we saw one of their bikes, the Bronco.
Yeah,
bike.
we saw one.
And they said
and then
meet him there.
Yeah, and then we got an email from the guy that says, "Oh, I'm so sorry, our guy is now there," and we were already back at our hotel on day 2.
Yeah, I was like,
We're
sorry,
"Nah,
sorry, buddy.
sorry."
You were going to get this premium exposure, but now you're not.
But we needed one of those electric bikes that night.
Yeah, probably Mark
Would've been
needed.
nice.
Mark, of course, you guys know we talked about it. Mark had his hip replaced about a
Yes.
month before, so yeah, Mark probably was like, "Hey, I'll take anything right now, scooter or whatever."
It held up pretty good. I didn't have a lot of problems with it. So
Yeah, did you get on the lift?
I had more problems trying to get out of bed because that mattress was not kind.
It's true, it
Yeah,
was
I mean-
low.
Yeah.
We just kind of rolled out.
Roll out.
Yeah, there it is.
Keep rolling.
That and for those, well, obviously that weren't there. That was pretty much our trip. Like there was something said, and the another person would pick up on it and just roll, and like it was a great trip. It was necessary for me to get away from like the parenting and all of that, and get away and like get with people we like all the time, and like cover SEMA for you guys, and just it was a perfect trip for us.
Overall, for me, the show was a letdown.
Yeah.
I just I don't know. There wasn't enough
me.
special vehicles or stuff that was like, our last one was Bronco. So that was for one, we wanted a Bronco, or we were trying to get our Bronco. But so there was that excitement, but there was a lot of cool stuff that it hit the show for. Not a ton of Jeep Gladiators, not a ton of Wranglers.
Well, there
I
really
don't know.
wasn't anything that really necessarily stood out except for the Cybertruck.
Yeah. Oh, we did find a new. You're going to see a video me and Mark shot of what's that called? That bag company.
Oh, Hazard 4.
Hazard 4.
Yes. I want to bring
Hi, River.
their website up. Somebody needs attention. Kelly, if you'll entertain just a second while I'm battling a cat.
I am entertaining. I entertain just sitting here. But yeah, so the guys did a walk around of this booth, and it's super cool. Actually, their products are super cool, and they're versatile. Across many platforms.
And you think, okay, Dave, this is a car channel. Yeah, no, these are obviously military style bags, but they were doing stuff for. I mean, I love silly bags. But they were
story.
doing stuff for is it not on?
Well, I mean, right, the first row, those Jeep molded panels, they're working on a thing for the Bronco for that.
Yes.
But
I need
those
to
mount
get
up to the hardtop. They have a concealed carry pocket in them, but it mounts to the hardtop roof right above your head. Molly stuff, super accessible, really easy to use,
They
just
had
really
some for
versatile.
Bronco. They said they were developing as well.
Yeah.
And it's using that space that you really don't think about. Like you really don't think about the lost real estate that essentially is.
And they had a really cool little bag for the sun visors.
Yes.
Which I'm not.
It was
It
a
had like
hard
the
Molly
Molly
panel that
panel.
you attached, and
Mhm.
then the bag slipped on off. And
I
they
wonder
do
if-
make that one for the Bronco.
I was gonna say, I wonder if it's not on the site yet, because didn't they say they just finished them or something?
Yeah, I think you're right.
I got to find his card. He told me told Dave and I to email him about it.
But really cool company. So you're gonna see a video from these guys drop as well. I even like these little Velcro lights and stuff they had for their bags and stuff. It was just smart.
Yeah.
A lot of really
and
cool
those guys,
stuff.
like I walked up at the end of you guys, going through the booth and talking to them, and I was impressed at how personable and nice they were.
Mhm.
The designer was
I-
overly passionate.
Yeah, I said earlier in the show, like there was a lot of folks that I was like, "Hey, come talk to me." Not that I need attention, but it doesn't hurt. But those guys were like they were excited to talk about their product, and that's always kind of invigorating. Like if you're excited about it, I want to be excited about it.
Mhm.
Yes, no, 100%. Even like the rain jackets and stuff they had were really cool.
Yeah.
So hopefully that video drops this week as well. Because I definitely want to talk to those guys.
Jess and I did a Rhino booth walk around.
Well, we were trying to save that.
You already showed the picture.
No, but
It's a secret.
it was before you were talking a little bit something about that. Yes.
How
Dave
is it a
said,
secret? You already showed a picture.
Yeah, he'll be able to post that in 6 weeks after he gets done editing all my terribleness.
Shut
I'm
up.
Jess was definitely the rookie of the trip for video shoots.
Oh,
Mark is a natural.
sorry.
Mark is a character. Jess was so worried that she was going to mess something up that
I messed everything up.
and then you did your Cybertruck fun walk around, and that was hilarious.
Right.
Wait, did you see the end of it that like we cut off and didn't post? Because I was like, and the end.
It's in the end. When did you become Italian?
But I was all like 2, 4, like
I don't know
sing the
what's happening.
thing.
I was like, I'm done talking.
Oh, that's
We had a great
hilarious.
time. Thank you so much for inviting us and letting us experience it and all the laughing. Because
We were so glad to have you.
Yeah, no, it definitely was a lot of fun. And clearly, guys, if you like and subscribe to the channel, you might be on the channel as well. I mean, I'm just saying. Mark,
Whoa, don't oversell it.
Mark's been a viewer for a long time,
Yes.
so see the perks. Hey, you want to work for us without any money?
Yeah, you see,
Look
it's
at
like
those perks.
who's Team B this week?
No, you guys are locked down in B. We might go look for C.
Oh,
All right,
wow.
thanks.
C doesn't go to Vegas. C comes and wires my lights up for me.
Wow. C goes on the cruise. Is that what it is?
Yes.
Are we going on a cruise?
I mean, we should.
2-wheel drive, 4-wheel drive, or propeller drive. It doesn't matter what you drive.
I mean, actually, so
I'm on
on
a boat.
Nissan Nation Productions, we actually have a cruise video on there that actually did pretty damn well before COVID.
Yeah, COVID killed that video.
It was actually a really good video. I won't say it was really good, but it did well for us.
Oh, and also, you guys seen if you're on follow us on Instagram, Nova Lights
Mm-hmm.
have reached out to us and wanted us to do some reviews on their lights. And these mother effers are pretty just in the box. I don't even want to open the box yet. It's heavy, I can tell you that. So they're got to be quality.
So funny thing about it is literally we were talking with them on Instagram on Thursday on the way home from the airport.
We were supposed to go to their booth at SEMA.
Yeah, we didn't get a chance to make it over there. But literally we were talking on Thursday, and Friday he pulls a box and he's like, I don't know what this is. And he opens it up. He's like, holy shit.
Well, it said All Terrain Nation. I didn't give my address or nothing. So they must have got through the SEMA stuff. But yeah, I was like, and then the lady, she texted me today or yesterday, and she was like, I didn't even get tracking ready.
I didn't even
And-
get a chance to update you with tracking
Yeah,
information.
She goes, so yeah, enjoy.
So
Awesome.
yeah, so that'll be fun.
Yeah. So
All
we got
right.
some
So
stuff.
we're ready whenever you want to come over for that install.
Okay. We
Love
got
you.
so our Raptor has so much stuff we've got to install. And there might be more surprises to come.
Wait, what?
Huh?
Huh? Apparently surprises for me as well.
No, you know about that.
That's fine.
Carbon fiber vents would look really nice,
Hey,
Dave.
slept. I've
Yes,
slept, so it's a
yes, they
surprise
would.
to me too.
dear Ford. I know we have some Ford people in the chats. If you would like me to review those carbon fiber for the Bronco Raptor, I would love to do that. But no, in all seriousness, I've seen those. Those were matte. I like that matte carbon fiber, I think, better than the glossy.
Yeah.
But there was some company from Australia making glossy ones. And I was really tempted to throw down some money on this. And I was like, I don't know how long we're going to have this thing for. Carbon fiber is always expensive. And then I seen those Ford ones. I was like, wow, that might be a little more practical.
Just say no.
Yeah. So, Laura, if you're in the chat, can I use my Ford points?
She was around here somewhere.
She was there. Allie was in there for a minute.
Yeah, poor Allie's been busy. She's been busy like crazy. So experience 10 out of 10, fun trip.
Yep, agreed.
Would have liked to seen just a little bit more stuff. Oh, the outdoor, the overland stuff we didn't even get to see.
Mm-mm.
And it was outdoors, and it honestly, from what we saw of a distance, I was just kind of like, ew.
Yeah, it wasn't worth the walk.
It was like 10 vehicles in a circle. Like
Mm-hmm.
there wasn't big canopies. I didn't see any big displays. It was just like, we brought 10 overland rigs, like, and here they are. And that was it. Like
Even
I
in
didn't see anything that
21
would-
for being the first year back after COVID, it was a bigger display. And they were having to like backfill spots in some parts of their halls, but yet the overlanding area was massive that year.
So you thought it was more busy this year.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Somebody else I talked to, they were like, man, attendance felt way down.
Did they look on Wednesday? Because
Oh, I think
Wednesday
I
was
s-
terrible.
Yeah, and I mean, didn't SEMA say it was like the biggest SEMA yet for attendees? And I mean, that might be registered versus who actually showed up, but yeah, there's so many people.
Yeah, I actually talked to other attendees that had been to multiple, and they said yes, they agreed that Wednesday was super busy.
Okay. Well,
I mean,
don't
it's a
know.
good thing we found the Tito's booth.
No kidding. Guess where we did frequent? We went both days to the Tito's booth.
little painkiller
Yes,
for the
we did.
footsies.
Yes, we did.
Yes, Diabolical was there with Turn Off Road.
We did.
and outside. We did talk to Alan.
Yeah. I wish
Yeah,
I would have got to
they
talk
were
to
there.
Turn off road though.
Yeah, the coalition, Roxworks was there.
Turn
it was
Off
a strange
Road,
coalition.
Diabolical, Roxworth.
Shelby
Yeah, 'cause
Hall
I
was
saw-
there with next to Alan. He
Yep.
was all excited by
For a
that.
minute,
Right.
yeah.
I saw Eric from Trail Hunter USA, who some guys might know, who I'm wheeling with this weekend out at Land Between the Lakes. In
Wow, just
Kentucky,
throw it out there
Tennessee.
so casually.
I'm just saying,
Joe,
I
I'm
mean, you're a
actually
big
going to
deal now.
off road again.
look at you.
Video, make some content.
Maybe I'll show you. Yeah, it was good to see those guys. It was really fun. Like I've known Eric from Trail Hunter for forever. He, taught me how to off road. So it was a good time seeing him, in Vegas and like, hey, awesome. So
Isn't it always strange when people locally and you're halfway across the country and you're like, this just feels weird that I'm seeing you here.
Well, that was
we're like from neighboring towns. He lived in a couple towns over from me when I was up in Kentucky, and we hung out in Vegas. So that's a good time.
Well, it's funny because, we introduced you to our friend Katrina, who we know from way back in the Xterra world. And she was actually there with the company that she represents. And it was like they live just outside of Atlanta and like 4.5 hours away or something. And it's like we have to go across the country to see each other at the same event. And like it's tough to get together in 4.5 hours. It's just crazy.
Yeah.
That kind of works.
Well, even, Rob said something earlier in the chat, like, hope to see you at Tennessee next year. Like, Supercell is our meetup for everybody on this side of the Mississippi. So we're already counting down the days.
Right. Isn't that crazy? It's just crazy how the time is going to fly for us too.
Yeah, it's great to be an old. This is my 50th month, so
Yeah. What are you doing
50th
for
month?
your 50th?
Well,
Your
50th, year.
50th year of months.
50th year
Any
of
day
months.
now,
Yeah.
David.
What are you doing for your 50th birthday, old man?
Nothing.
Taking a
Oh.
nap.
Back in my day.
No kidding.
So if you guys like the new studio, by the way, hopefully you guys enjoy this more relaxed feel. This is your first time getting to actually, and I told you it's more relaxed feeling.
Yeah. And our daughter helped him put the wallpaper up.
Yeah. She was part of it, and she wanted to be on the show tonight, and then didn't say a peep.
Well, I saw her on the show when I was on my way home, and then I come home and she's like, "Mom, he kidnapped me. I'm ready to go. Get up there." I was like,
I kidnapped
"Okay."
you.
Like, and she's been begging to try to come on the show, and then well, she's figuring it out.
Anyway, so new studio was brought to you by members in Patreon.
Yes.
So I want to hit the old button here. And if you ever have interest in helping out Patreon, there's all kinds of, there's no tiers of like you get more than anybody else, no matter what you help out there. Man, the Facebook had an error on it. So sorry, Facebook people. But that or membership here, it does help the channel quite a bit. You believe it or not, your super chats, everything you guys do have been a blessing for us. Helped us get to Vegas. So I say thank you for doing that and watching the content.
Yeah.
By far the Jeep video me and you did is the biggest so far from Vegas, which is not as views as I'd want, but I'm happy that we got those views. The Ice Co-in, which I knew wouldn't, that's more of a short anyways that we should have done, but we're looking to do some stuff with Ice Co down the road too, so it's kind of interesting because they have a cooler that I think if you, for your daily use, if you work out of your vehicle, I think the one that we talk about in that video, I think that's perfect for daily use, especially with their battery packs now, where you could have it plugged in all day. The battery pack's gonna keep it at night if you just need to keep your refrigerator going a little bit. That's gonna be nice. And then there's these light companies. They're all wanting to deal with us because they see the channel growing, and your support helps that. So we greatly appreciate that. And that's the last time I'm gonna sell myself tonight, or the only time.
No, it's not.
You sell your soul all the time.
Pimping ain't easy, man. Pimping ain't easy.
It's funny.
We don't love them hoes.
Wow. We're not in Vegas anymore, sir.
Oh man, sorry. And thank you. And,
Thank you.
And Ford Enthusiast said he's got 10 years on me. Yeah, I don't feel my age.
Especially after last week. Last week, you probably feel
my feet hurt a little
15.
bit, but you guys, Mark didn't. Mark was the least to complain out of all of it. I think us three complained more than Mark.
You heard him?
Well, he's got all new parts. He's officially a Lego
He's
guy
a robot.
now. Yeah, he's my $10 million man, or 6, whatever it is.
I'd be like billion.
He can't
now.
complain.
But,
we're still working on original parts here.
Sounds out good.
No.
They can rebuild him faster and stronger.
Right?
I just keep having parts taken out. So, I mean, that's all I do. I don't have any.
Same, girl.
Right? Like.
Let's not. I'm out of parts.
Same. You'll have to replace if you do anything more.
Yep. As of now, this looks like it's probably our last trip of the year. I said no to the LA Auto Show once again. I've never gone to that, and it's because LA Auto Show, for what auto shows are dying, I hate to say, and LA especially, because they don't ever release what they're doing. It's next week, and they just now released what's going to be there, and I'm like, I'm not buying a ticket 1 week out. I'm not paying $5,000 for a ticket to get to LA.
We don't have $5,000 for you to pay for a ticket to get to LA.
Well, I just said Patreon people, come on. No, but so looks like Detroit will be coming up. We're definitely going to be there for the first one back when the time slot is supposed to be, and probably
in the
Chicago
winter, when it's terrible.
Well, come on. Built in Ohio here. I can handle it.
We went to Chicago Auto Show before COVID. We were literally there in a blizzard.
Yeah, it was cold.
Yeah, Detroit used to be the same way when I went when I was a teenager. It was like, let's trudge through the snow and ice at Cobo Hall, which is no longer there.
Yes.
But it was totally worth it because you get there and you're like, oh, look at all these cool
the
cars.
things. Absolutely.
I got to do this real quick.
Just roll with it.
What is going on, All Terrain Nation? Welcome to SEMA 2024. It's A and B, and we're ready to go. You guys ready?
Let's do it.
Let's
do it.
We got press passes and all that, so let's do this right now. I was supposed to do that before the show started.
I was gonna say I don't think I've seen that one.
I'm not. I wasn't ready.
I know. I can tell. This was right before that. The Post Malone. Seriously, I was not. I was just. I got to get something. I'll do clips like that of just like in case I need it. And,
It was before the marching band too.
Yeah, there's damn marching band.
But Dave, like you were on it, right? So we did a little intro thing, and then like Dave's gone. Like if
I go to work.
everybody
In my life.
right? But like if Dave is dedicated to his craft, and I saw that firsthand while we were at SEMA. It's like, where'd Dave go? Oh, he's over there filming, or oh, he's over there talking about a car, or he's
You
talking to
ladies were
people,
talking
like,
to the one girl
on
from
it.
Michigan area or whatever she's from.
Vega.
Yeah, Vega. And I was
Oh.
like, trying to be polite, stand there for a minute. I'm like, look, man, the clock's ticking. I've got to go. I got things to do here.
You're being nice about it. You were like, I got shit to do. Bye.
Well, in Mark and Jess know this because we had conversations about this. But for those of you that don't know, Dave is usually, if he had done Vegas, just the two of us, I would be dead now because we would have gotten back and I would have just been able to had to lay in a bed for 3 days to like recover from
Basically,
Dave's
she
Vegas
needed
trip.
you guys to go with us to save her.
100%. So
We were like the buffer.
yes, that's it. Because Dave would have been like, okay, we're flying in Monday night. We're doing the show on Tuesday. We're flying out first thing Wednesday morning. Like that's how he would have done Vegas. And like not even enough travel time to like get anywhere or do anything. But what we did learn this year, we learned we will fly in earlier the day before SEMA to hopefully get our badges before they close the press places off site, as well as get some downtime to figure out our game plan and stuff like that.
We'll get over and shoot video before everybody gets into the booths and
Maybe.
Yes, because that's the one thing. If you guys think this job is easy and it's fun and it's not too stressful, but when there's like, remember the one person that walked right in front of you two? What were y'all? Yeah, were y'all at the?
We were at the Rhino booth.
Rhino booth.
Yeah.
And the person walked directly in the shot purposely.
Yeah, the guy did.
When you guys were videoing at the bag booth, I don't remember what the company is called now. I was kind of standing off to the side. I saw Kelly videoing, and you guys, the guys were talking, and like poor Kelly behind the scenes, like there was violence in her eyes because there's somebody like right here next to Mark's face, like looking through stuff. I'm like, clearly they're doing things. It's terrible. I have the same thing when I was videoing the rocks with Toyota when they were having the announcement. I'm like, oh, pan out the thing, and here's someone's arm. Like I'm like, awesome.
Yep.
So yeah, day before sounds great.
Yeah, and that was my introduction to Jordan Parker. I was filming a 2-door Bronco at the 4-wheel parts booth. Did they have a booth? I didn't see a 4-wheel parts booth.
I didn't see 4-wheel.
I'm sure they have.
We saw DZs that we did before.
These nuts.
Yes, and then software performance. Yes, thank you to all that have served. I didn't know if you
hey,
did
Mark,
that in
thank
the
you,
first.
sir.
Yes,
No, I didn't.
thank you, sir. We appreciate your service.
His hip says you're welcome.
No 4-wheel parts. Jordan Parker.
Oh yeah, my Jordan Parker was at the 4-wheel parts when it had a 2-door with some stuff on it, and I'm there with Coder Man. We're doing our thing, and all of a sudden Jordan Parker just zero fucks given, just right in the middle of just do it. As honestly, he did tell me later. He goes, "Hey, we had scheduled a time. You were kind of the asshole in the way, but it's SEMA. You just do what you do." And so I've learned. Well, I think that's a show tonight, guys.
I think so.
Next week, I'm sure we'll have news and views and all the fun stuff again. But we had a lot to talk about
business.
Mm-hmm. I know. Back to business.
Yeah, back to the real world. Jess and Mark will be in the comments.
Oh yeah, back. You don't want to see our faces, but I'm
Not
excited.
really.
Like Dave, I know you got a lot of content over the 2 days that we were there, and hopefully some useful stuff with my face in it. If not, no big deal. But I'm excited. Everybody's in the chat. Like, check it out. Make sure you're subscribed because Dave's going to be posting all sorts of fun stuff that you haven't even seen yet.
As well as Mark and Jess over on their Instagrams, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah, I got a couple other things. But I'm going wheeling. I'm super excited to get dirty.
Screw SEMA.
Somebody's got to.
Jess, your Instagram is what?
Unbridled Bronco.
And Mark is what?
Wild underscore AT track. Wild at track.
There you go.
If you find Unbridled Bronco and just look in who's following her, you can find Mark.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Eventually you'll
usually.
stumble into one of them.
Yeah.
We're kind of a big deal.
Duh.
Really,
Kind of.
Clearly. That's why we brought you along to bring the show up. We're
Yeah.
nothing without you two.
I'm just the shoulder for you to, sit on and get a better view.
Oh my God, you guys. So whether it be 2-wheel drive,
4-wheel drive.
I don't know if it matters anymore. I really don't. This has been your All Terrain Nation. What are we, Mark and Jess?
Thanks. We're out of here.
All right.
See ya.
One day they'll get it right. We're out. Peace, everybody. Love y'all.